you with the written portion. I know it's confusing. I've kind of put a lot of information out there for you, so I just wanted to go over it because I know several of you um, have had questions. All right, so I had told you to answer in OneDrive if possible or Word document. Google Doc is going to be, to me, the best because it allows you to create it, allows you to share it with me to my Google account, and then I can make edits and we can both see them. I don't know if OneDrive does that. I've never used OneDrive, so it was just a suggestion. All right, so whenever you're writing, you need to, and you're answering the questions, and we're going to get to the questions in a second, you need to make sure that you're addressing individual images from your portfolio. So here's an example that might be in one of your answers. I started with soft pastels as seen in images 2 and 5. So back on your digital portfolio in images 2 and 5, and you may need to leave these blank. So that's what this says right here. Leave the underscore button. Leave the little underscore button because you may not know what order you're going to put them in. Or you could put parentheses and call it the shoe drawing or the whatever describes it, the bird painting, okay? Whatever describes the word if you don't know where you're going to place it yet in the order, okay? And then, so your sentence would read something like, I started with soft pastels as seen in images 2 and 5 because I am most comfortable with them. Then in images 1, 3, and 4, I experimented with acrylic. You don't have to put your artworks in order in any particular order, and we'll talk about that at another time. All right, to help you save on characters, you might want to think about just saying SI instead of image because SI represents the word sustain investigation instead of concentration. Okay, and so yeah, until you know what order you want your images to be displayed in, you're going to use the underscore key to create a blank space to remind you that you're going to need to fill that in with a number. Okay, so this is directly from College Board. Written responses to prompts about your work are also required in this section. Responses to these prompts are evaluated along with the images that you submit. The most successful responses in terms of assessment are those that are clearly related to the image that you submitted, that directly and completely address the prompts, and that provide evidence of inquiry-based, sustained investigation through practice and experimentation and revision. And this is what I was trying to get you guys to do all year long. Remember whenever we would practice with our media, I was trying to get you to push yourself to try a new technique, try a new media. That's your experimentation. Maybe you were trying a layering, whatever it is that you tried to do to push yourself to have a more creative outcome. And then revision. What changes did you make from one to the next? Okay, I know I can use Savannah as a really good one. Savannah had I think like a red bird in one of her artworks, and then she decided she didn't like that, and she completely changed it to a white bird. So that needs to be in her portfolio. That needs to be in her written response under revision. She needs to talk about how she started the artwork with a red bird as seen in image blank. Provide an image is one of her responses. In her collage, I think she used that artwork. So she should put the collage of the artwork that shows the red bird and then show the final one. But you can see I went back and changed it to a white bird as seen in image blank, and it should be the very next slide. Okay, that's what they're looking for. They don't care about spelling, grammar, punctuation, none of that. All right, so the first thing you're going to answer is your question. You're going to write your question out. How can I show the connection between nature and man? Okay, whatever your question is, through my artwork. And then you're going to go through and describe how does your sustained investigation show evidence of practice, experimentation, and revision? And that's what these questions are down here. And you only get 1,200 characters. That's not much. Okay? Starting right here, this sentence you are reading now is 51 characters. From the capital T to the period. 51. Okay, so you don't get a lot of room, especially if you like to talk. So you have to be very precise with your words. You don't need to fluff anything. Don't add fluff. I know you're probably used to writing like that to make things go further. Cut and dry. Get to the point. All right, what did you do to show, I'm going to use the man versus man interacting with nature. What did you practice to show man versus nature? in your artwork, in my artwork. So what did I do to practice? Let's see. I did some research on YouTube. I did search for some artists. I found artworks that I like, whatever it is that you did to practice. Um, how did you come up with that idea? What was your thought process? Okay. What artwork or collages can you see where you practiced, right? That's when you're going to refer back to hopefully a collage you've made that shows you're practicing your thought process. And that's when you're going to say, so you're going to say image blank or describe the artwork, and then you'll go back and change that later. So what you're going to do is basically you're going to answer these questions thoughtfully and carefully on a separate sheet of paper or somewhere else, type them out, and then you're going to figure out a way to flow them together to help describe how your sustained investigation shows evidence of practice, experimentation, and revision guided by your question or inquiry. Okay. And then, so just make sure you're answering these thoroughly. Okay. And then I would really like you to make a Google Doc to share with me, and my email address is the same as my school email, Kristi.Bernstein@gmail. Kristi with a K, Kristi .Bernstein, BERNSTEIN @gmail.com. Here, I'll type it right up here. Kristi.Bernstein@gmail.com. Okay, so you can see how to spell it. Make a Google Doc, send it to me, answer these questions, take your answers. Sorry, my kids are outside playing with my husband. Take your answers and then figure out a way to make it flow. Turn it into a paragraph, turn it into an essay. Okay? And then don't forget to refer back to specific images that you're going to show the judges. I know, I wish I could be there to help you through this all. What we would have done in class is I would have given you these questions to answer on your own and then told you to turn them into a paragraph. You would write out your paragraph. You would send it to me through digitally. And then I would make my edits and revisions, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to send it to me in Google Docs, write it all out the way you think it should be, and then I'm going to write it, and then I'm going to change it for you and edit for you so that it sounds better, or if it sounds the way it sounds perfect, I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm going to help you get the very highest grade that you possibly can, okay? But you've got to get the ball rolling by answering these questions first and trying to put those answers into a paragraph that sounds good and flows. All right. And then get those to me as soon as possible. Start uploading all your images, get them resized, get them get them arranged. We're going to talk about arranging in another assignment. I may go back and add more information, but that is all for now. I hope this helps you, and we may still do a conference call if you're still struggling. I miss you guys.